Hi, it's me. I'm starting to record this and I will have Andrea join in a moment. We're going to have a really challenging video to talk about today. And I just want to express my deep sorrow for this topic. And I want to also apply my First Amendment rights to my freedom of speech and my perception of what this story entails. And it is a massive trigger warning about abuse, about school abuse, teacher abuse. And I would also like to state that I have expressed permission from my friend who is like a sister to me. And the child involved is just an innocent young man. He's a little boy. Um, and what happened is horrifying. And so I just want to start that off before Andrea joins and make it clear that these are our opinions, and we are going to name the name of the accused because it is public record. However, I am not going to state the name of the child involved. There are multiple children involved. I am going to avoid saying the name of my dear friend as well. And I just want to convey the love and respect to all of the families and all of the children involved. And I'm going to, hi, honey. Good morning.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me. I know you're about to go on vacation, and we weren't really planning to do anything this week, but thank you. This is super important. And obviously, it's something that you and I have privately discussed a little bit um, with the sparse details that we had. Um, and it's something that I've alluded to talking about here. And now that it has been publicly shared with the community and through press releases, I am confident to start talking about it now. And I have expressed permission from our friend, and we will not use their names. Obviously, she is probably one of the only parents that did not speak with the media. And I would just love to lift that family up and the at least 10 other families that have been affected by this situation. Um, and if one or both of us start crying, it's because, first of all, we know these people firsthand. It's every parent's fear and nightmare come true. And I have to say that, most of the teachers in special education I've met, I have fallen in love with. Like, they've been amazing to me and to my family. But this is also why I'm a bitch, because I am beyond disgusted.
Mhm.
But our friend, just like you, she has a lot of grace. She has a lot of forethought, and she has a lot of wisdom and not doing what I would do, which I spoke with my husband last night about this and let him know that we were going to be covering this topic. And I said, honey, I just truly don't know what my reaction would be. I I would have been in jail. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else because I know that they probably feel that same way. And I don't know because I've not been in their shoes, nor do I want to be. Um, I'm just going to start at the top, and I am going to name this teacher. and I hate to even use that word. Um, and she is going to be named as the title of this episode because Lacie Ann Horsting is her name. I'm going to give a small recap that I wrote up, and then we can discuss the unfortunate additional details. And I don't want to be the only one talking, but I'm also just so grateful for you, Andrea, just you and me, like our bond. Like I just want to cry right now. Like you're here with me, even though we're like an hour away from each other right now. And I couldn't do this without you. And so I'm just sending you my extra love through the screen and to your babies because this is a literal nightmare.
It,
It's a
it
nightmare. Okay, let me start with the recap and put my old lady glasses on.
Virtual hug. I'm
Thank
I'm
you, honey.
holding space for you right now.
Thank you,
Okay.
honey.
We'll get through this. All right.
This is for our friend, and she wants her voice heard. She would love to retain some anonymity. And so I'm going to give her that, and I'm going to be her anger because she's too classy. I don't want to laugh or joke. I'm just trying to get myself through this. I love this family. This lady has been there for me since my son was a month old. I've known this child since he was about 9 months old. I've seen these babies grow up from diaper days. I've babysat these children. She's babysat my children. We're very close. We spend, holidays and game days and things to get like we're tight. This our extra group, we're tight. Even if we don't see each other all the time, we're tight.
Yeah.
Okay. So as my recap will state, and I'm just going to read it so I don't go off script one more time. This case is the former Visalia Unified School District teacher named Lacie Ann Horsting, a Highland Elementary School that is located in Visalia. She has been charged with multiple counts of child abuse. She pled not guilty. She was also not ever arrested. Nothing. Okay? These are things that I've learned from my friend because I said to her, you know, basically like, was she arrested? No. She's never been even detained over this. So she's walking around right now. She pled not guilty, and the courtroom had families that were there, including our friend. The victims are at least 10, and I have to say that my assumption is it was this school year of children that were included. My fear is that this included way more people and children than are listed here. And so if you've had any interaction with this person, Lacie Ann Horsting, contact the prosecutor's office in Visalia, the Tulare County Courthouse. I'll do my best to link some information in the biography. We're new at this. I apologize, um, but I this deserves our full attention. The child involved that we know is one of the victims, and he is a special needs child, and he is autistic. He has a limited speech capability. I have spent a countless amount of time with all of her children. Um, and this little guy, I can't justify it in any means whatsoever. In my brain, thinking to myself, there's nothing this child could have done to deserve this. In my First Amendment opinion, I have personally spent time with this child. I have seen his behaviors. I have a special need child. I cannot imagine going through the education, going for a specific special needs education. And when you look on LinkedIn, this person has a religious education. So, of course, these are the people that drive me from the church. Talking about me personally. This is just me. And I mean, no offense to anybody who's a believer, anybody who goes to church. This doesn't affect my belief, but this impacts me greatly when I see the hypocrisy. And these are the same people that will tell you that you can't do this, you can't do that. But this woman put herself in a position to abuse the most vulnerable children, people who depended on you as an educator to protect our children, to guide them through the day. The anger, the straight up anger in my body, I can't.
Mm.
Finally, she has been charged and is moving through the Tulare County court system. However, a case like this, and there's some more information I'm going to provide again with my First Amendment right of my opinion, my speech, and I'm just being very, very clear because I hope everybody in the community sees this video. For shame. I've been looking for some more information other than what was briefly on the news. I
Okay.
haven't found anything. I'm talking about this lady. I've been waiting to talk about this lady. I'm furious. Furious. The statute of limitations on this particular case are a real and valid concern because a lot of these parents had no earthly idea this occurred. They received a letter from the school district stating, hey, this may have happened to your child. This teacher had already moved on. From what I understand, the principal was involved. And this is why I've been very specific about my First Amendment rights, from what I've heard and what I understand.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, the principal and this Lacie Ann Horsting are friends. And so when the very brave teachers' aides, who are typically people who obviously are depending on a job,
Right.
okay? But they are also, you'll hear it so often. I'm a mandated reporter. That'll be the first thing to come out of people's mouths. I'm a mandated reporter. Well, the people who were reporting this out of one, fear for their jobs, two, fear they wouldn't be believed, fear of retaliation, fear nothing would ever come of it, and then they would just be fired. These are all the same things, but still, these are the motivations behind the people who did do their job. They did report. So they did take it to the principal who did nothing, who sat on this for a year. A year. This happened not this past school year, the prior school year.
Oh,
This is how long this has been going on. Now, my friend, our friend, made me aware of this situation, and unfortunately, I really didn't know who this man was at all until it happened, but it was the day Charlie Kirk died. She came to our home. She sat here with her children. She was somewhere else, and she happened to be nearby my area, thankfully. So, of course, we welcomed them into our home, and she proceeded to tell me the very little bit she could at that time because she's very bright, she's very intelligent.
she
But
is.
she also is very, she should have been a lawyer. She should have been a litigator, in my opinion. And so she kept everything. She said nothing. She didn't tell me the name. She wouldn't tell me anything.
Close-lipped.
She really truly is, and I have to highly commend her. Truly. I to the core of my being of just the horrific feeling that I feel. So this leads up to this week when Lacie Ann Horsting go ahead and pronounce that last name however you like, because of course it contains a synonymous word, because that's how I feel. For me, that's how I vent my anger. So, I know our friend called to let me know, hey, this did hit the news. Mm, She called. She was driving in her vehicle. This was the day after the initial hearing. I've never heard her so broken. She was just driving in the car because she didn't know what to do. She had two of her children in the car. She was fine emotionally, but she needed to talk. And this is when, I said, with respect, can Andrea and I discuss this? And she said, absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be like the hardest part. And I actually had to have her stop talking to me because listed in this account, which is publicly available, she allegedly kicked this young man in the head and in the chest. And this little guy is so brave and has gone through so much. And he is a wonderful big brother. And he has been a big brother to my son. Like these children have known each other, like I said, since diaper days. This lady came to my home a week after our baby girl was born. And I walked out into my front yard and I burst into tears and she hugged me because I was postpartum. I was emotional. It was my wedding anniversary that day. I was just in a bad mood. I got flowers from my husband's HR manager, so I was immediately mad at him because I didn't get flowers from him. I was like, "Oh, cool, it's my wedding anniversary and I got flowers from your HR manager, not you." Little did I know, he also had a gift for me, and I totally ripped his face off because I was 7 days postpartum. This lady came to my house. She held my baby for me. And I've done the same for her when she's had her other children. I've come to her home. We're and this is a lady who Andrea aside, if the world was collapsing around me and my children had somebody to go to, I would without word hand her my children and know that they were in good hands. And so now, when these further court dates come up, there are, I believe, at least one in June. I will personally be going to watch her children so I can provide my friend and our friend like a modicum of peace while she goes to handle this business, and that she knows that her children are safe and that she can at least concentrate on what she needs to do that day and know that I'm not going to rib kick her son. I'm not going to hurt her son. I mean, just how she has the dignity and grace to not go right to this woman and confront her. I don't know. And I'm saying it like in the nicest way because that's not what I mean. When she very first told me this story, I mean, I said, please stop talking. Like I had to beg her, please stop. I was going to start screaming because the rage and the sadness and the angst in my soul. I can only stand by and hold her up and be her support and give her a voice and give this baby a voice. There's nothing this child could have done. There's nothing. I don't care if he had a meltdown. I don't care if he was having a bad day. I don't care if you were having a bad day. And do you know what else? This person, this Lacie Ann Horsting, I'm just saying that name over and over. I don't care. She alleges that she was on some kind of like diet pill and this affected her behavior. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Take your ass back to wherever you get educated in your religious education. Go do some self-reflection. And hey, word is through the grapevine you tried to get a job in Hanford. Or you may have gotten a teaching job in Hanford. So anybody living around the area, if you see Lacie Ann Horsting coming around the Central Valley looking for a teaching job, an aide job, anything involving children, make sure you rib kick that bitch right out of the room. Because trust me, if I ever see her, I'm spitting in her face. And that's going to be the nicest thing I do. Should be lucky to have my saliva hit her in the face. And with that, I'm going to open the panel to this Andrea right here, this little angel who has made me a better human. And by the way, let me tell you something funny so I can segue into something lighthearted for a moment. Last night, I was at a birthday party for my friend Leah, who, by the way, her birthday was last week. And P.S., I'm not saying the date, but this little angel right here, her birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday. And I was so sad to be celebrating on a day that was actually your birthday. Um, so there was another lady named Andrea there, and my friend Leah, who it was her birthday. I can say their names, they're fine with it. I have to say Andrea because the lady Andrea, who was also there, I said we were talking, Leah started talking about our show to other moms who were there, and turns out there were three other special needs mothers there. Um, and actually a sibling of a special needs child who was on a typical path, who I got to ask one of the burning questions of, like how can I as a parent, give equity, m make my typical child not feel oppressed or put in a position where she feels like she has to take up for her brother. Essentially, I'm on the right track, according to this young lady who I was proud to meet. She's going to, I believe, Sarah Lawrence. I mean, a bright young lady. And I must say, she had the perfect quintessential 90s look going on. I was like, the 90s are back, baby. She had the cute t-shirt. She had the real cute little short pixie. She had the jeans. I was like, man, I feel like I jumped back into 1997. Okay, girlfriend. That's my
Okay.
era, baby.
Love the vibe.
I did really love the vibe, but I mean, just speaking with her was just a lot. So back to my, adult ADD moment, Andrea was sitting there and I said to Leah or another lady at the table, my Andrea, meaning you. And Leah looked at me and she was like, what do you mean, my Andrea? That's my Andrea. And I started laughing. I was like, no, honey, my Andrea. And I pulled up the video. I said, this little lady, that's my Andrea. And she, ah, it was really funny in that moment. But we had a wonderful evening. We sang some karaoke and we then went over to a local restaurant. We kind of took over. We ordered some food. We had a great evening. Um, yeah, and this particular group, they like to be home by 10 o'clock. So I extra vibe with that because I needed some sleep. I got
Definitely.
up early today. I was so invigorated by my anger that I already got the dog on her walk because I was on a mission. I said, no, I'm like physically angry. I need to go walk this off. And so I'm actually like way calmer than I was this morning. Okay, Andrea. So, I know you may have questions and I may have some answers, or if you have a statement, anything that you'd like to talk about or share with this particular issue, go for it. I'm going to give you the floor.
Mm. I think you saw my reaction because I didn't know the depth of the abuse.
I know, I know it's hard. We knew something, but we didn't know. And we knew it was bad. I didn't know it was as bad as this. What my imagination was. was bad.
Right.
What was told to me was a million times worse.
It just mind boggled. For a person to want to go into this field specifically, not just a teacher, but to take that next step. And I have personally been around special education teachers from just being a very small child. And so I know what it takes and the classes that they have to have and reoccurring classes and the vetting that has to happen. But I think in ways it gets laxed. And you're right, there is, when they become in a place of power and superiority to uh,
A
other staff,
child. Other staff, you're absolutely correct.
right?
There's
So,
other adults in the room. That's what's more horrifying.
right. And I don't know the whole this situation, but it just hearing a story, it's just
This is
mind-boggling.
her, by the way.
Oh,
This is her. This is a publicly available picture. This is her. You would see her and think, "Oh wow, she looks so lovely." She's a fucking demon.
well, that's how she gets away with it, right?
Clearly. Clearly.
Uh, so, like a little side note to this is when you are a special needs parent, and I've sat with people in our mom group where they're so utterly broken, and I've sat with two of them where they stare me into my soul in my eyes and they say, how can people, and so you know it's not just one, two, three, a handful, a plethora of people. How can they be so cruel, so misunderstanding, so uneducated? I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And until you truly experience having a child with any spectrum of any type of disability, it really does not matter. You see the evil, the true like demonic possession. I really don't know. I don't have words for what comes out of people. And then as a parent, you are gaslit over and over and over. And I know I've talked about this in other episodes where you become a mom that you never thought that you had to be. You become the problem. But they truly, these districts
I'm proud to be the
engineer,
problem. I want to be
allegedly,
the
right?
problem. I love walking in and seeing the fear because you know what? I would have come to you with respect and dignity, but now that I've gotten a little bit of experience, now I know I have to lead with my bitch foot. And then if you earn my trust, maybe I'll break down and be kinder to you, but no, not my kid, man, because I'll see you in the parking lot.
So they use your trying to approach, I'm just saying for myself, they use this like, hey, let's work together as a team, like a camaraderie. No,
No.
you have to hit them like right out the gate
Yep.
with this is what's going to happen. You have to like have consequences and follow up with those.
Yep.
And you need to come in guns blazing, have an advocate, all these things because they need to know that they can't take advantage of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're not going to let this district
Absolutely.
take advantage anymore.
Visalia Unified School District, I'm horrified. Horrified. The
Yeah, you're at a loss for words.
The complicity that it takes for this situation to go down. And this obviously isn't a one-off.
Bingo. You open what happens, right? I mean, how often are we messaging each other?
All the time.
It's
All the
like
time.
a
There was just
weekly
another
thing.
case of Texas that I saw this morning. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Autism moms fucking unite.
It has to be, if not us, then who?
Nobody, dude. Nobody's coming. We're fighting our own battles.
We're our own militia when it comes to this, our virtual militia, however we can team up. And we're not going to be silent about
Nope.
this any longer.
Nope.
I know I know your voice has, when you were younger too, silence.
Silenced.
You're too dramatic. You're too this. You're too that. Well, the thing that I'm too much of, we're gonna
Those are my
use this
strengths.
energy and we'll be coming as a united front to support these mamas, these families, these poor children that have gone through these atrocities. I think I just sent you something recently where autism is you, it's hard enough for these poor kiddos to even be connected to their body. And there was a therapist that I was watching her video saying there's literally no such thing as an untraumatized autistic person because of how the world is. It just can be our surroundings that are too much, right? Too much to handle. And then you're going to take something like abuse where they literally, some of them can't even comprehend what's transpiring to their bodies. And this is probably not even a one-off. It was probably something that
They
allegedly
finally
happened.
got caught.
Right. And this is public in the, news feeds and whatnot about the regression that some of these kids, the what's happening to them at home. It's that's kind of how I'm sure it's uh how the parents found out, not just finally the school district disclosing this, but I would think allegedly that the these parents like looking up if they're fine in the home, but then they lash out in school, or you can tell there's like something that's happening,
I'm
right?
gonna tell you, I at that particular time, her second child was about 15 or 18 months old, and my daughter is about it just almost a year older than him. And so though like my oldest son, well, my only son, but my son who's eldest and my friend's eldest, I'm sorry, I know she's our friend, but I keep saying my friend. They've been bonded as well as my daughter and her second child. They've been bonded. They grew up like this. I was spending a frequent amount of time with her at her house during this particular period. And in hindsight, I remember her talking about, his aggression increasing, his toileting issues regressing, his sleep issues. And she just thought it was because she had another child and, she was going through some other personal things at that time. And, she just thought that there were things like kind of just triggering him in the home. And I believe that she had even gone to Lacie and Horsting and mentioned, hey, we're having a lot of challenges at home, that, basically like her taking responsibility as a mother and saying, hey, we're going through things at home and he's really acting out right now. Is anything going on here? And no, everything's fine. Or he'd come home with injuries and it would be he fell or we don't know what happened. And she hurt him. She physically hurt him and left marks on him. I mean, I'm just saying that it's taken everything I have just as her friend to, you know, at this point, it's in the hands of the law.
Yes.
And if the law fails, then hopefully a civil avenue will be available.
Right.
And I can only hope that her teaching license is stripped and she's never allowed to teach anywhere ever again and be involved with any child ever again. It's if you have any small belief in the rule and justice of law, it moves slowly. And the principal who may have sat on this information for a whole year until one brave person finally said, you know what, I've reported this so many times and nothing has happened, that they finally took it to social children's services. That's how this actually went down. They had to take it to
Ugh,
child services, and the child services reported it to the police because the principal allegedly was complicit in the situation and cover up. So until you get rid of that principal, you could get rid of this Lacie Ann Horsting all day long.
there'll be other Lacie
There's
Ann
another Lacie right behind her, and the
waiting in the
principal's going to
wings
be right there saying, huh, what, who? Shame. Every one of them.
because it
From
just
the superintendent on down, get rid of every one of them. Get them
everything
out.
rolls downhill, right? They can all, yeah, just the teachers in the bottom, they can just, it'll be like a revolving door, replace, replace, replace until you're right, until it goes all the way up to the ladder. And we hold these people responsible. And I think this is like a microcosm, but I mean, this just kind of mirrors, right, what is happening on a larger scale, not just in our country, but worldwide. I mean, it doesn't even just have to include kiddos with special needs. This is like the epiphiles, right? I mean, it's the power trip that these people have. And yeah, it's like they're untouchable.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's some kind of air of superiority there of I can do whatever I want. I can act out with a child that cannot speak. He's not the only child in that class. He's physically able to walk, but some of the children that I saw publicly, they were not even mobile. They
Hmm.
can't speak. There's no way to communicate verbally with them to say, you know, what happened at school today? I'm so grateful that my son is able to speak. He can't always communicate correctly. There's a difference between having speech and having, you know, coherent communication. He doesn't always have that, but I've I've made a good bond with his teacher, and I'm fortunate to be in a very small school district. And although I had to fight the Fresno County Unified School District, and there were other things that happened, we're on a very good path and relationship now with this school district that I can say that I made it very, very plainly clear to the district that my husband and I were problems and we're not going to shut up and we're not going to back down and we're going to make it difficult for you. And there are avenues you can explore. Um, you can file complaints with the state without having a lawyer involved. There are other methods and ways that you can fight back and you can advocate. And trust me, they don't like it because then the state investigates and they're going, oh shit,
Hmm.
they have somebody else. sticking the proverbial California right up their butt. They don't like it.
Oh
So
yeah,
go
they don't
ahead.
like
I mean, it's like
movement.
I can make it very 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 difficult for you before I even call a lawyer. Because I don't want to go down that road. I'm just asking you to treat my child with equity and fairness. I'm not asking no more, no less. Just equal. That's it. That's all we want. I don't want you to go above and beyond and give this child something that no other child in special need in your school district gets. I'm not asking for more, but you're never going to give my kid less. You're never going to treat him less. My daughter as well. For
Oh,
these children going through this and for this particular mother who now she's terrified to send, I mean, she's been terrified all school year. Now she's contemplating homeschooling. That's her right, that's her prerogative. But at the same voice and token, she doesn't want him to lose what he has worked so hard to gain. She doesn't want him removed from any public school system or it. He has a right to be there and he's the victim. He's not the perpetrator. Why should he have to suffer? There's there's nothing that I can say other than like we're standing up for all of these children. I don't know them all personally. I would love to be in contact with any of the other parents. This is a large area, but it's a tight-knit, small community, and everybody knows each other somehow, some way.
yes.
We may be up in Madeira, we may be down in Porterville. We know each other, trust it. You can go out to Selma. You could go out to San Luis Obispo. Trust it, baby. You're gonna run into a friend. It's a small big town.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Central Valley is quite strong, I gotta say. I overlooked, underrated, the backbone of this state, 100%. I'm so proud to be a resident here, but I know that I adult ADD'd off of my point of my son's teacher. And I have to say that her son is in the same grade as our daughter, and they are like best friends. And so I'm extremely fortunately lucky that my son's teacher just happens to have a child who is a good friend. You know what I mean? It's not that I needed that connection with her, but it certainly gave me extra uplifting and confidence. And I've come to her with some issues, but you know what I like about her? She's kind of gangster. And I'm like, hey, you know what? After this school year, when you're not my kid's teacher, we need to be friends because she's amazing.
Good.
And I admire her. And also her first name is Ariana, and I just love that about her because I am an Ariana Grande fan. So I'm like, what's up,
Yes.
Ari?
Love it.
Oh, my honey. Sorry, my Leah's blowing up. I thought I had everything silenced. Leah's sending me some pictures from last night and it was real fun. We had a great time. I wish you would have been able to join us. I know I think I mentioned it to you, but I sure didn't want you celebrating your birthday with somebody else that you don't know yet.
That's
But
okay.
you would just adore her. She is a special needs mother. She is real down to earth. She's super fun, super cool, real relatable. Would love to have her on. I wish I could figure out like a three-way call on here, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to work this machine, friends.
You've come so far. I can't believe everything that you've learned from barely even knowing how to start up the iMac. I love it. No, hey,
Don't tell on me. I've been out of the game for like 10 years.
I have too.
I
Don't
used to
see our
be like a
evolution.
computer whiz, and then like I became a mom. I just used my phone for everything. I stopped using a computer for a very long time, and now suddenly I'm having to learn all over again, and I'm so grateful for your friendship and just everything. I know that it's like we're talking about me and doing this thing, but I couldn't do it without you. And I just need to express that wholeheartedly. Like, and I've said this, privately, like if anything popular ever becomes of this, obviously me and you, babe. So
Well,
I'm just saying, like,
well,
oh, the
let
kids do this now. They do this. I found this out. So if you use the snap emoji, it looks like this, but it's a little tiny heart.
Oh, okay. See, we learned something new. But all of this to say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. And we can rope this in to what we're saying about being those mama bears is, hey, we may not know something, but best believe
Believe we're gonna find out.
we will find out and we will learn. I've had to learn so many things so quickly to be able to be that advocate for my kids, be the advocate for myself. And so, we're not taken advantage of by the school district. And this is great that we will be banding together and sharing and pooling our information. So, yeah, we may not know things in the beginning, but if there's a topic that we need to basically get our doctorate
You got
in,
that right.
deep
And we
dive,
and because we're like level one, guess what?
we'll be locking it
I'll be
in.
locking
And
in on that for some reason. I'll be like learning it like Encyclopedia Britannica, and I will commit it all to memory.
there you go.
If my brain decides it's interested in that, I'm about to become a professor of that topic. And if that topic happens to be making sure that every person involved in this situation has an advocacy through my big mouth, I'm going to give it to you. Because
Amen.
I'm Jen and I'm your friend. I'm your friend you can count on. You can't run your mouth publicly? I can. And Andrea will be here to anchor me back down to the ground because
That
she's
I
my rock.
will. I'll hold the space for both of us.
She's the class and I'm the sass. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Love it.
It's true though.
Hey, but
Well,
it's taken me years, though, side note, years to have the composure.
it's true. No, I know. I've
And
always admired that about you. You really are the class and I really am the sass, but we balance each other very well.
yes, definitely.
I just want to close up with something like a little bit uplifting, just a little bit
Like,
positive. I'm just going to give you, you know what? It's Friday. It's a happy day. We're lucky. We're blessed. We're fortunate. We have everything to be grateful for. And we're grateful for each other, but we're grateful for people watching, for our community that we want to grow so bad. We want to be your friends. We want to be here for you. Even if you leave us a comment, even if you write us an email, if you don't want us to use your names, we're happy to keep your anonymity. We made it through this whole thing, and I'm going to have to do minimal editing, and I'm proud of us. High five. Um, Also, to piggyback off of an upload I'm getting ready to do, I met with Sabrina. She talked about a project she's working on. She did message me that the project was approved, so I will probably have her back on to talk about the official project. And I'm so excited for her, and I'd love to partner with her. Andrea and I will do our best to support her. Because you have the Tulare County aspect, I have the Fresno County aspect. So we can kind of cross the border and link up some more unity and some more resource accessibility to everybody, not just, being inclusive, it's kind of not the opposite of inclusion because you know how we fight to have our special needs children included. This is more family, you know, typical children, regular caregivers, parents, not just a mom, not just a dad,
Hmm.
not just a cousin. Maybe you're just an IHSS caregiver, but we're
Yeah.
going to try to work harder to include, well, she is, but we're going to support and we're going to do our best to reach out to anybody, you know, in the Central Valley and in the whole United States, wherever you are, I don't care. I mean, obviously we're here in this area and it is a broad, big area, but it if you know, you know. And you know, just I am so grateful and thankful and we're here for you. If you don't need a sassy reply and you need a classy reply, Andrea can handle that business. I take no offense. If you like talking to Andrea, books like I said last night to a couple people, give me an hour of your time. I would love to talk to you. Andrea would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you. Give us an hour of your time. We'll talk about whatever you like.
Love it.
I am wishing you a very safe journey. I'm not saying when or where exactly you're going. I'll protect your privacy, but I will be waiting for a I'm safe text. I'm here. I'm back home. Check in with me, boo. Send
Yeah.
some cool pictures. I'm excited that you're going to see the new baby. We have things to be grateful and celebratory for, and we're always keeping grounded and keeping I'm working on my humble, but I'm in my era of gratuity and just trying to be as open, loving, kind, and knowing that every person is somebody's child and they're going through something that I may never know. And so, even when people in public might piss me off, I try to keep some grace and some dignity because I learned it from Andrea.
Oh, thank you. And
Thank you. You have made me a kinder friend.
and you make me more sassy, and I love it too. There's
Hey,
two
honey, you
more
know
time in the
what?
place.
You're Italian. I don't need to take that credit. You got that in your blood, girl. I
Definitely.
feel like a Mount Etna Sicilian bloodline from you snaps into you because I've seen that face. I've seen it. I'll never forget that time we were at that one place that one time, and I said something funny to that lady, and I said, "I'm the nice one. She's the mean one," and she like made some joke, and you went, and I said, "See that look right there? Scared the shit out of me too." I was like, I'm telling you, I may look like I'm the problem. She's the real problem.
Hey, if
You'll
we
hear
don't
me
got a
coming.
problem, there won't be a
She moves
problem.
in silence, not me. You'll hear my big mouth coming a mile away. That'd be the one to be scared of. At least you got a chance to run, because I'll be like, I'm coming for you. P.S. Lacie and Horsting, wherever you are, I hope you're having a shitty Friday. I usually am wishing everybody else a good day. Be having all the days you deserve.
For sure.
On behalf of my little guy, who I'm going to just call my nephew in an honorary moment, his Aunt Jen is on a mission, and guess what? I'll be saying your name every time, every opportunity I can. I'm going to be your problem. I'm going to be the thorn in your stuck up ass. How dare you? How dare you? You know, my friend and you had many conversations, Lacie Ann Horsting. Guess what? She trusted you. She liked you. She really did. There was a time where my friend, our friend, accidentally locked her keys in the car and her little baby was in the car and she helped. Do you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
she helped her. And then and then at the same time, you're violently hurting our baby boy. That's our baby. Our baby.
Exactly.
You're
Ooh,
gonna the law's gonna take care of this one how somehow, some way.
I hope they throw the book at her.
Hey, guess what? You know, the lady in Minnesota, they gave her 41 and a half years. So I'd have to say a financial crime versus hurting children that can't even speak up for themselves, like make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Hmm.
Wishing you the day you deserve, wherever you are, Lacie and Horsting. And on that note, I'm going to end this, Andrea, because I love you, but I also know you're extremely busy. And I appreciate you giving me some time this morning because I needed you. I wanted to, you'll see the beginning of this where I recorded by myself just to like give the spiel. I you make this you make this for me. You're you're
Thank
you're
you. Right back at
you're my
you.
sister, man, and I deeply love you and I care about you and I care about your family and the children and I'm just wishing my baby Beebs and my little lady a wonderful time and your husband as well, fine.
Thank you.
You know, after you get back and stuff, like if you'll be so kind to invite us, maybe we'll have a little party in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Barbecue?
I don't want to talk about your private estate. Your what I told our friend, she also has a similar setup. I called it her Oprah Winfrey backyard. And I was like, invite me to your Oprah Winfrey backyard one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, friends. Lots of love to everybody. Have a safe and wonderful time until we see you again. I'm trying to do weekly uploads. I may be a day or two off on either side of it. And like I say, you know, we're here for you. Reach out to us and
Yes.
talk to you soon.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.